It's good to finally be back. Hi everyone, I'm Juliuma from Scented Moments channel, where I help you to discover the amazing world of perfumery. Yes, it's been 3 months since I uploaded my last YouTube video, and yeah, it's just because I returned to Portugal like from mid-May until mid-July, so I just got back this week to Lithuania, and back in Portugal I was working and also had a few days on holidays, spent time with family, friends, and also work got really busy. And I also attended the Art and Olfaction Awards that occurred in Lisbon, where I met Eugene. It was amazing. So yeah, so a lot of things were going on, and I really did not have time to record a video. Although I wanted to, I actually had a list of videos that I wanted to record, and even the fragrances that I wanted to talk about. But well, unfortunately I was not able to. And also in Portugal is where I have the majority of my collection, so for me it would be way easier to film videos, but well, it was not the case. I still was able to bring a lot of fragrances actually. The first time I came to Lithuania, so back in December of last year, I brought lots of fragrances, like over 100. This time I brought over 60. However, for the first time ever, and this was a travel from Lisbon to Vilnius with a stop in Frankfurt for a few hours. But what happened was, well, I had 2 check-in luggages, and one of them, and I had a lot of fragrances in each one. Every fragrance was wrapped in the bubble wrap, very well sealed. And what happened was that one of my luggages was opened and someone stole 4 fragrances from me. Yes. So I realized that when I received my checked luggage, which actually took longer than it's supposed to. But yes, the minute I saw the luggage, I saw it was opened, and I saw that someone just unwrapped the plastic, and they took the fragrances. Simply put, I mean, I was outraged, I was fuming, yeah, you can imagine. You can only imagine. So then, of course, I reported back to the Lost and Found department back in the Vilnius airport. So of course I filed a claim there, took pictures. Then of course I flew through Lufthansa. So of course I reported this issue to Lufthansa. They already replied with a laughable reply, of course. They are refusing to take any responsibility. I already replied again. I don't know if something will happen. I mean, if I would receive some sort of compensation, because in the end my luggages were not insured, which was a huge mistake. But well, you never think that something like this will happen, especially in Europe, but well, of course it will happen. So lesson learned for me, and this is also my advice to you. If you're traveling from one country to another, if you're taking fragrances with you, more than 1 or 2, I mean, just insure your luggage. You pay a bit more, just like 40 euros more maybe, but at least you will be compensated in the end. Well, in my case, I doubt, but well, we will see. I'm still fighting for it. And yes, and also just to tell you, because this video is about my haul. It's my one of my huge massive haul videos. This is the fragrances that I purchased in the last 3 months basically. And one of the fragrances that I purchased, it was one of the fragrances that was stolen. So it was Frederic Malle Monsieur, although the 100 ml. Although I was already able to repurchase a new one, so that's great, and I should receive it next week. The other 3 fragrances, just FYI, the other 3 fragrances that were stolen from me, one of them was my vintage Guerlain Cuir Beluga, the 75 ml. The other one was Chanel La Pausa 200 ml, and the other one was Xerjoff 1888 100 ml, and it was also vintage, like the first bottle, and actually that bottle was my first Xerjoff purchase. Anywho, that being said, I have here over 20 fragrances though. Over 20 fragrances that I purchased during the last few months, 3 months to be exact, so let's talk about them. First fragrance, this is from house of Marc-Antoine Barrois, and this is their latest release, and it is Tilia. This was love at first sniff. Tilia, it's completely different from what Marc-Antoine Barrois alongside Quantum Biche has created. All of their previous fragrances, so it was B6A3, which I love. I don't have it though, but I really do like it. More of that earthy, patchouli, bit suedey, dusty. And then they had Ganymede, which was supposed to be like a fresher take on that Centennial B6A3, and it's a huge success. I mean, probably their best seller, and I absolutely love Ganymede. For me, Ganymede is a masterpiece, something that was never done before, with that mineral ozonic, suedey accord. Absolutely love it. And then you had Encelade, which is all about this rhubarb, which is also quite unique, but it's very like a very bold, loud green rhubarb, and so it's not for the faint of heart. Again, it's unique because you don't see rhubarb as a prominent note every day, so I think it's unique because of that. But it's very intense, it's green, it's vegetal-like, and it's still, you have that Akigale wood that you can see in Ganymede as well. So yes, it's not for everyone, and definitely not for the faint of heart, but I actually do like it as well. And then you have Tilia. Then you have, of course, the Extrait versions of B6A3 and Ganymede. I prefer the B6A3 Extrait than the Ganymede. I think the Ganymede is a bit, Extrait is a bit redundant, because the Ganymede itself, the Eau de Parfum, it's already intense, it's already rich and powerful enough. And B6A3, I think it's a nice mix of B6A3 and Ganymede, and it has that apple and oud, and because of that, kind of reminds me of a bit of A Promise by Frederic Malle from the There's the Gems, but still, I think it's a fantastic scent, that B6A3 Extrait. And now Tilia. Tilia is completely different. Like I said, it's completely different from the previous creations that I just mentioned. Tilia is a floral, fresh, citrusy perfume, but still with that, I still kind of detect that Akigale wood, but definitely much toned down when comparing with the other creations. So Tilia is all about linden, has this linden tree, citruses, woods, ambroxan, and it's beautiful. So elegant, and it has this narcotic feel. It has like and I will get there. It's soapy, has a soapiness into it, like a clean, soapy, almost borderline eau de cologne style, floral. And the ambroxan, you can definitely smell it, and for me it doesn't smell cheap at all. And this one is beautiful. I absolutely love it. Great performance. And now, I was saying that this is narcotic just because this reminds me a bit of Ex Nihilo's Fleur Narcotique, and that one, like this one, also has jasmine, and that one, it has this soapy, elegant narcotic nuance. Maybe because of the name, I'm being a bit biased, but definitely has like a narcotic feeling to it, and this one also has that. So that kind of reminds me of Fleur Narcotique by Ex Nihilo, but this one still has the linden tree that the Fleur Narcotique doesn't have, and I think this one lasts more, and it has a better performance overall than Fleur Narcotique. So yes, overall, I think this is a fantastic creation. This is unisex through and through. Even if you're not very fan of florals, I highly advise you to try this one. For me, it was love at first sniff. Tilia by Marc-Antoine Barrois. Next fragrance that I purchased, it's from House of Naomi, Goodsir. Absolutely love this brand, and this one is Nuit de Bakélite. And this is, I think this is their most intense, challenging fragrance from their collection. This is a green tuberose bomb. It's very dry, it's balsamic, it's a bit resinous in the base. It is just beautiful. It's very narcotic as well, and I think it's one of the best tuberose fragrances out there. Seriously, this is one spray, and one spray you will stink, not just in the room where you will spray this on you, but also this will last in your clothes. Seriously, this is something that you really need to think where to wear, because yeah, it's very intense. But I absolutely love it. It's one of the highest quality of tuberose notes that I ever smelled, and the galbanum in here, it's also fantastic, and it's one of my favorite notes overall, galbanum. So yes, which gives that green resinous touch, and very balsamic, musky, a bit resinous in the base. I just love this one. If you love tuberose, you must check this one out. Nuit de Bakélite by Naomi Goodsir. The next fragrance, this is from House of Francesca Bianchi, and this one is the Mariner's Rhyme. Now this is Francesca Bianchi's newest release. Yeah, I discovered this one at Essence this year, and I really do love it. It's basically an aquatic take on Francesca Bianchi's DNA, with that orris, animalic type of DNA that she often uses in all of her perfumes. So this is an aquatic take on that, and I really like it. I think it works, but I understand that this is not for everyone, because the aquatic salty chords in here gives a fishy smell. Not for everyone. I absolutely love aquatics. I love my seaweeds, and the most realistic they are, the better. That's why Acqua di Sale is one of my all-time favorite perfumes, and I wore it a lot when I was in Portugal. And this one definitely has that, but yeah, it gives this fishy smell, and it's very pungent in the first couple minutes. It, even for me, tickles my nostrils in the first couple minutes. So I understand that this is not for everyone. If you're not a big fan of aquatics, I think this will be a huge turnoff. But if you do like aquatics, I think this is something that you should try, because it's still a unique take on an aquatic, because you have the Francesca Bianchi DNA. You have a lot of orris in here, like a buttery orris, suede, and it has complexity. It's not just a simple aquatic perfume. It has complexity, it has layers, which I love it. And I think this type of fragrance was missing within the Francesca Bianchi collection, so I'm really happy that she did like a more summery aquatic take, aquatic fragrance with her DNA. I just love it. Not for everyone though. This is an extrait, so the performance is great. So yes, if you love aquatics, definitely try this one. If you don't, I think you can pass this. Mariner's Rhyme by Francesca Bianchi. The next fragrance, this is from House of Ramon Monegal, another house that I absolutely love. It is Flamenco Extrait, and this is one of the new creations from Ramon Monegal, and I am already a big fan of the original Flamenco, and I was super curious to try this one. So I tried this one at Embassy, niche perfumery store. I already talked about this store, which is my favorite niche store overall. It's based in Lisbon. They have a website where they ship within EU, but I don't know if they ship worldwide. But definitely check out their Instagram, reach them out, and Ricardo, which is the owner and a very good friend of mine, or Raquel, also good friend of mine, they will attend you and they will help you the best way they can, and they offer a fantastic customer service. And I will leave the link of their store in the description box down below, along with their Instagram page. And so Flamenco Extrait, again, I am already a huge fan of the original Flamenco, which I have with me here. And so the original Flamenco is incredibly sexy, it's very addicting, and it's already powerful. So it is all about this jammy raspberry rose with musk. And what Ramon Monegal did was basically added saffron and oud to that scent DNA, and it's done to perfection. Ramon Monegal really knows how to work with oud, and he definitely has a great oud source, because Ramon Monegal has an oud collection which I absolutely love called Don't Touch My Oud, and it's my favorite Western oud collection. high quality oud stuff there, and I have all 4 of them. So Ocean Oud, Oud on Fire, Soul of Oud, and Alhambra Oud. All of these 4 are masterpieces in terms of oud for me. Here in Flamenco, I was afraid that this could be maybe a bit similar to Alhambra Oud from Ramon Monegal, from the Touch My Oud, which is rose oud. And the rose used in Alhambra Oud is very similar to the one that it's used in Flamenco. So I was like, maybe this will be a bit redundant, but it's not. It's definitely not, because here you can definitely feel more the raspberry. Very juicy, very realistic raspberry with this jammy rose. And the oud and saffron. The saffron is also prominent, but the oud in here, while it's there, it adds depth. It has more mysteriousness. It really adds more complexity, but it's not overwhelming. It's not an oud that it will be challenging or animalic. Definitely it's there. It adds like a resinous, slightly sweet. It has a chocolatey feel, and so the oud used in here kind of reminds me of the oud that Ramon Monegal uses in Soul of Oud, which I absolutely love, which is a chocolatey oud. And I definitely sense a bit of that in here. It's amazing. Absolutely love it. This is a very powerful fragrance. I mean, if the original was already powerful enough, this adds an extra layer of that. And I love this one. It was love at first sniff. And if you need to choose one or another, I would suggest you just to go with the Extrait because of the extra layer of oud and saffron. Absolutely love this one. Is Flamenco Extrait by Ramon Monegal. And the next 2 fragrances, these are both from the same brand, Thomas de Monaco. I'm a big fan of raw gold, and I have the original raw gold with that more animalic, accord. The new version is not as animalic, although you still have oud, but it's still not as animalic. I already heard that it will still be reformulated again and will not have oud at all. But I think that Thomas will work on it and try to replace the oud with some maybe other notes that will still recreate the feel of oud and to add the same depth that raw gold had. Let's see how that will work, but I love these 2 fragrances that he released last year, and this is Sol Salgado and the other one is Fuego Futuro. And this is the new bottle. He rebottled the entire collection last year, and this is how the new bottles look like, including raw gold. He released a new fragrance this year, which I still haven't tried. I think it's Ultima Storia. I think it's the name of the fragrance, but I haven't tried it yet. I'm very curious to try it out. But these 2 are amazing. Sol Salgado, and very different from each other. So Sol Salgado is definitely a summer fragrance. It screams summer holidays. If there is a fragrance that screams summer holidays, it's Sol Salgado. The translation to this is like salty sun. So just by the name you can see this screams summer. And this is all about salt, of course, linden blossom, heliotrope, mimosa, and it's so creamy. I even get a bit of this coconutty feel, which is not listed as an accord, but I get like a coconut creaminess in here. And with this salty, you have ambergris also in here. I absolutely love this one. This literally smells like a sunset. Simply put, sunset with linen shirt, enjoying a drink with your friends. It's exactly, you just left the beach and you're just enjoying the sunset in the bar. Exactly how this for me smells like. Absolutely love this one. It's very pretty because of the floral nuances in here. It's also very pretty, very elegant, but this for me it's unisex. Of course, if you're a dude and if you don't like florals, maybe this one will be a bit challenging for you, but I love florals and I think this is really one of the best summer fragrances that I smelled. And the other one, very different, Fuego Futuro, future fire, if we can translate like that. So Fuego Futuro is more about, and it's very unique actually. This is a very unique fragrance because you have mate, you have hay, You have a bit of sandalwood, you have balsams, you have a balsamic incensey accord in here, and I absolutely love it. This is quite unique because of the hay and the mate absolute note used in here. It gives a very green hay feel, and you also have a big dose of Citron pepper on top as well. It's very unique. This for me screams fall. It's fall in the bottle. Absolutely love it. Fuego Futuro, really advise you to try this one out if you are searching for a unique fall fragrance. Try this one out. These two are extrait, so performance will not be an issue. Fuego Futuro and Sol Salgado, both from Thomas & Monaco. The next fragrance, it's from House of Xerjoff, and this one is Torino 21. And this is the 100 ml. I absolutely love Torino 21. This is currently one of the most, if not the most, but one of the most popular fragrances from Xerjoff, and for a reason. This is a very fresh, uplifting, minty, lemon, musky fragrance with a bit of a black currant accord in here as well. Absolutely love this one. It's so smooth, so refreshing, just it screams summer and also spring, I would say, but more summer, and the performance is fantastic. This could easily be like a signature scent, but I see this more because of the mint and the lemon. They are just, Xerjoff does citrus and mint very well, in my opinion. I think it's their specialty. It's in the fresh, citrusy. Of course, I also love their ouds and their more intense fragrances. I definitely do so. Xerjoff is one of my favorite brands. But I think where they really shine effortlessly is in the citric part. And yeah, Torino is no exception. Absolutely love this one. Again, lemon. I think you also have a bit of an orange accord in here, no? No, you definitely get a bit of like a tangerine with lemon, lots of lemon, mint, musk, blackcurrant. Oh man, this screams summertime. I love it. I absolutely love this one. Great performance again. If you're searching for that perfect, effortless, everyday type of fragrance, check this one out. Xerjoff Torino 21. Now let's talk about designer fragrances. I purchased 5 more mainstream designer fragrances that I absolutely love, and these 2 are both from the House of Chanel. True classics that I'm very happy to finally have them in my collection, and these are Chanel No. 5 Eau de Parfum and Cristalle Eau de Toilette in the old bottle presentation. So yes, I finally have these 2 classics. These 2 were missing. I mean, I had these 2 in my wish list forever, and I also want to have the Chanel No. 5 Parfum. Thanks to Super Decope. I highly advise you to check Super Decope and his perfume channel. I think it's essentially Decope. And I will leave his both channels in my description box down below, because if you want to know everything about fashion, luxury goods, including fragrances, especially all about Chanel in terms of brand history of Chanel, overall, check out Decope. I absolutely love his 2 channels, and he's the one that influenced me in trying the Eau de Parfum and also the Parfum, and I felt I was head over heels when I tried or retried the Eau de Parfum version of No. 5 and the Parfum. Then it's something out of this world, really. But yes, this is a classic. Aldehydes, it's very creamy, it's very elegant, and the first fragrance that I really fall in love with in this No. 5 collection was No. 5 Low. I absolutely love that one. I think that one will forever be like my favorite, but then goes the Parfum, and then comes this one. Absolutely love this line overall. And this is not grandma. I mean, really, just dismiss those comments. Those are people that are not familiarized with fragrances at all, and they just have these preconceived ideas. and doesn't even mean that they themselves live that. They just heard say that this type of fragrance is Guerlain style. It's not. Really, it's not. I think this is very elegant. I think it stood the test of time. And more and more aldehydes are more popular. Just see, for example, Frederic Malle just released Acne Studios, which is an aldehydes bomb, and I don't like it at all. Actually, funny enough, I think it's not Frederic Malle. It smells like detergent. You also have, for example, Xerjoff Pico by Adamo, which is nothing more than homage to Chanel No. 5 Eau de Parfum. So more and more you see more fragrances with a heavy dose of aldehydes. I think it's starting to be more popular again. So yes, I think this really stood the test of time. Absolutely love this one. And then you have Cristalle Eau de Toilette. I already had the Eau de Parfum, and I was lucky enough to find a fantastic deal on the Cristalle, the 100 ml of the old bottle. But Cristalle is like a fresh green floral chypre that is so elegant, so effervescent, so effortless. But as it develops, I get like a gray color, like gray ashiness in here that it's a very interesting, unexpected twist, but I absolutely loved it. I think this is perfect for spring and summer. Incredibly elegant. Now again, this is the old bottle presentation and the old formulation. Now we have a new version of Cristalle Eau de Toilette and also Eau de Parfum. The Eau de Parfum comes in this bottle now, as in number 5. And the Eau de Toilette still comes in this bottle, but it's different. So the glass comes till here, comes up till here, and then you just have the cap. You don't have this metal part. I mean, I think this is not metal, this is just plastic, but you don't have this part, this silver part in here. And also the perfume itself, it's different. Unfortunately, it's definitely, it's watered down. So if you are able to find this bottle specifically, just go for it. It's brilliant. It's a masterpiece. If not, I mean, it's still a great fragrance. The performance, though, it's not as good. Not that the performance in this one is great, but they managed to even worsen the performance of Cristalle. But well, I think still in its current version is better than the majority of the mainstream designers out there. So don't go crazy. If you are able to find this bottle specifically, amazing, great. If not, just go with the current version and you will smell amazing still. Cristalle Eau de Toilette by Chanel, amazing scent. Next fragrance, this is a cheapie from the house of Rochas, and it is Eau de Rochas Citron Soleil. And this is a 100 ml. I really like the presentation here and the cap itself. I think this is plastic maybe, but it has some weight into it. I really like the presentation of this bottle. This is an Eau de Toilette, and some people compare this fragrance to a fragrance from Louis Vuitton. I think it's a Sun Song. I think it's discontinued even. I don't know, I never tried that fragrance, and I'm not a huge fan of Louis Vuitton fragrances in general. I think they're really overpriced for what they offer, but this one is amazing. The only downside is really just the performance, but it's fantastic. This is all about Neroli Orange Blossom, so it's very eau de cologne style with this fig leaf that gives like a green nuance in here, and it's a bit aquatic and salty. So you have like this eau de cologne, aquatic, salty, leafy, fig leafy type of perfume. I think it's amazing. I really like this one. I never tried anything like this. I don't know if this is, I mean, this is not the most unique fragrance in general, but considering that this is like an eau de cologne with the twist of an aquatic, with an aquatic edge and then fig leaf, I find this very unique in that regard. Absolutely love this. This screams summer. Super elegant, very effortless. Highly advised to try this one. High quality perfume, and I think this is very underrated. I don't see anyone talking about this. So yeah, definitely try this one. It's Eau de Rochas Citron Soleil. The next fragrance, this is from the house of Guerlain, from the Aqua Allegoria collection, and it is Nerolia Vetiver Forte. This for me was love at first sniff, and since this came out, I think it was last year, it was on my wish list, and I finally purchased a few bottles while I was in Portugal. This is so good. Even the original is very good, but the Forte goes to a different level in terms of intensity and richness. So this is of course Nerolia and vetiver, but with a very strong fig accord, and it's not the fig leaf as in, for example, Citron, Soleil. It's really the fig fruit, very carnal, very intense fig in here. And I feel that fig, it's very summery, very spring summer, but more summery, gives really like a summer vibes to me, and I absolutely love it in here. Now this is very intense. It's a really intense soapy green earthy fragrance and woody because of the vetiver, grassy, with this very heavy fig fruit, and I would even dare to say that it has also a coconut nuance in here. But I doubt that there is coconut in here, but it gives like a milky, lactonic nuance. Maybe it's because of the fig itself. Absolutely love this one. Try this one out if you have yet to. Aqua Allegoria, Nerolia Vetiver Forte. And talking about Guerlain, actually I purchased quite a few Guerlain fragrances, starting with that one, Nerolia Vetiver Forte. But now I have 3 new fragrances that Guerlain released this year. A lot of people already reviewed and talked about them, and when I tried them, I was like, okay, this is amazing. I want the 3 of them, and so I did. And these are Vetiver Parfum, L'Homme Ideal Parfum, and in the back, Habit Rouge Parfum. So the 3 parfum fragrances that Guerlain released out of the blue, and I was really surprised. Me, and I was definitely not the only one. I mean, Guerlain releasing and investing in their Habit Rouge line and their almost forgotten vetiver line as well. I mean, I was incredibly surprised in the best way possible though. And of course, I was not surprised with L'Homme Ideal Parfum, because L'Homme Ideal is their mainstream line for men. Although again, all fragrances are unisex. But so, simply put, if you love the original vetiver like I have, and I love it, you will love this one. I think Delphine Jalk really did a fantastic job with this one, because she retained the DNA of vetiver and just really intensified it. It's making it more smoky, more rooty, more dark, and more intense in the end. And I absolutely love it. High quality vetiver right here. I think Delphine Jalk really did a fantastic job in creating a parfum version of vetiver. And then we have the L'Homme Ideal Parfum. And so L'Homme Ideal Parfum is also very true to the DNA of L'Homme Ideal line, and you really need to love this line to appreciate this one. And I love L'Homme Ideal DNA with this cherry, almondy, vanilla, suede. Love it. I have the Eau de Parfum, I have the Extreme, and I have the Cologne, which was my favorite, but fortunately discontinued. I think Guerlain then re-released it as a L'Homme Ideal Platinum, I think, released last year. I don't know if that's still available out there, but yes. And then now I have the Parfum. I also want to add the original Toilette and the Lintons someday, because I really like this collection again. And so this is definitely a more intensified version of this DNA. So you have a big dose of cherry. I love the cherry in here, like a cherry liqueur, with vanilla, with suede, with almonds, and everything is amped up. Delicious, very sexy, very addicting. Great performance also. The longevity is fantastic. So yeah, I think this is really a winner. And then we have Habit Rouge Parfum. I'm a big fan of the original Habit Rouge. I have the Eau de Toilette. Not a fan of the Eau de Parfum though. I think it's an incomplete scent. I think it goes straight to the base with the big vanilla, but it feels incomplete. I mean, it's like, it's a skin scent, basically. You go to the base and it's a skin scent. Doesn't develop, doesn't do anything. For me, at least. I never tried the dress code, unfortunately, but I know that a lot of people say that the ones that have dress code or tried dress code say that this is basically it's very heavily inspired on dress code, but the vanilla in here, it seems that it's more intensified when compared to dress code. I never tried dress code, so I can't really say if it's really like that or not. But what I can say is that if you are a huge fan of the original Habit Rouge, you might not appreciate this one, because this is very intense in the vanilla, and the vanilla here is borderline gourmand, like pastry almost, retaining still the same DNA of Habit Rouge with the rose, with the lemon and everything, but the vanilla is the main note. This gourmand vanilla is the main note. So if you are a die-hard fan of Habit Rouge de Toilette, you might not appreciate this one. Now, if you love the eau de parfum, and especially if you like the dress code, if you would like that the vanilla would be more amped up, if you like gourmand fragrances, I think this will be a winner. This for me is my favorite out of the parfum, because at first I love the DNA of Habit Rouge and I love vanilla, and Guerlain, you can't go wrong in terms of vanilla. So I think this is fantastic, the best of the parfum, but I'm a big fan of the three of them. That's why I needed to have them. So yes, and I have. So if you have to choose just one, I would say Habit Rouge, but I would say more L'Homme Idéal. I think out of the three, I think it's the one that it's easier to like, especially if you enjoy the DNA of L'Homme Idéal. But personally, I would go with Habit Rouge. I absolutely love this one. So Habit Rouge Parfum by Guerlain. And the last fragrance that I purchased from the house of Guerlain, this time is from the La Relamatier, also a new release from Guerlain, and this one is Nerolia Plein Sud. Absolutely love it, and this is that type of fragrance that I was not expecting to love or not even to like it at all, but when I tried on my skin, I was like, okay, this is good. This is really good. Should this be in this line though, in the La Relamatier line? Maybe more into, I would see this more in the Acqua Liguria, but this is still a fantastic scent. Neroli done to perfection, the smoothest natural smelling neroli, and the biggest twist is the spices. Heavy on the spices, cloves, turmeric, ginger, big ginger in here. So in the end, this is like an eau de cologne, but style of perfume with a big twist on spices. You have the zestiness and the effervescence of ginger, which is very prominent, and then you have the complexity of cloves and turmeric. Man, I love this one. Very unique in my opinion. Not that this is, I mean, you have neroli everywhere, but if you are to release a neroli fragrance with that eau de cologne style, at least make it something special, make something with a twist, and I think Delphine Jelk really nailed with this one. Great fragrance right here. Very elegant, very versatile. Nerolia Plein Sud by Guerlain from the La Relamatier collection. The next four fragrances are all from my favorite brand overall, Profumum Roma. Two of them I didn't brought with me because, again, like I explained initially, I'm a bit afraid. I was a bit afraid to bring Profumum Roma with me in my checked-in luggage, because these bottles are complicated to ship and they can leak. So I didn't brought two fragrances that I purchased, but these other two I bought, but I ordered to ship to Vilnius. So these two are Dolce Pensieri and Nerolia. Very different, of course. So Dolce Pensieri is a fairly recent release. It was released in 2021. It is a delicious, jammy rose fragrance with a touch of oud and vanilla. Lots of vanilla in here, but I love this one. It's not unique at all, but the end result is a fantastic, very sexy fragrance, very long lasting, ambery, jammy, sweet rose, vanilla with a touch of oud. The oud, it's not listed as an official note, but I definitely get a hint of a dark resinous woodsy nuance in here. So yeah, absolutely love this one. And Neroli, totally different, as the name implies. This is all about neroli and orange blossom, and this is an eau de cologne, but with that Italian edge. So it's basically an Italian take on eau de cologne, which is a more powerful, more intense, more long-lasting eau de cologne style, and I absolutely love it. And still natural smelling, a fantastic natural smelling neroli and orange blossom in here. Love this one. I tried this one last year. This is incredibly underrated. I would say that these two are very underrated from Profumum Roma, and especially neroli, which is quite old actually. This was released in the late 90s. Yeah, this is not a fragrance that gets attention at all, but yes, I highly advise you to check this one out if you like all the colognes, but if you want more intensity and for them to be more rich, it's Neroli by Profumum Roma. And then the other two fragrances that I bought but I left in Lisbon, it's Victrix, and I wore the heck out of Victrix when I was there. So Victrix is Laurel, massive Laurel with this salty accord. So basically it's green, it's vegetal, it's salty, it's dry, amazing for summer, very unique take on a summer fragrance in my opinion. Love Victrix, very long lasting. Check that one out if you have yet to. And then the other fragrance was Antico Caruso, which is often compared with Le Malle, Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Malle, and Reflection Man by Amouage. I would say that it falls in between those. It's a fougere, it has lavender, it has almonds, it has vanilla. So, and it falls in between, because the Le Malle, I think it's very playful. The Reflection Man, I think it's very elegant, and Antico Caruso is in between. It can be very elegant, but also can be very playful. So I think it's falls in between. Very well done, great perfume. The ingredients, the blend, I think it's amazing. Not the most original, because yes, it has this resemblance, but I think it's still a fantastic fougere fragrance. So these four fragrances by Profumum Roma that I purchased during these 3 months. And now we have 6 and the last fragrances, all of them by the same brand, Frederic Malle. Yes, this haul is dominated by Frederic Malle. Yes, I was very into Frederic Malle. I'm very into Frederic Malle currently. And yes, so let's start off first with 2 fragrances. So the first one is Eau de Magnolia, which I've been wearing a lot actually. I took this with me to Portugal and I brought it with me also. Fortunately, it was not stolen. So yes, Eau de Magnolia, it's a very unique, fresh, floral fragrance, perfect for the summer. So unique, so underrated, created by Carlos Benahim, which is also the nose behind music for a while. Another incredibly unique fragrance, one of the best from this brand. So yes, I highly advise you to try this one out. Eau de Magnolia is to die for. And then the other fragrance that I purchased was Rose Tonnerre. So Rose Tonnerre, it was previously known as Un Rose, and so it's all about rose, like a very earthy truffle rose. A lot of people compare this with Tom Ford's Noir de Noir, and I definitely see that. I have a 250 ml of Noir de Noir, one of my all-time favorite perfumes, and I can see it. But I would say that Noir de Noir, it's more heavy in the chocolate and in a slightly coffee-ish feel, and here it's more dry, not as gourmand as Noir de Noir, but it's very earthy, it's dark. The rose here is very vivid, like a very vivid red rose. I absolutely love this one. Love this one to bits. Rose Tonnerre and Eau de Magnolia, 2 amazing perfumes from Frederic Malle. The other 2 fragrances that I purchased, one of them was Love at First Sniff, the other one not so much. But so the first that was Love at First Sniff, en passant. I absolutely love En Passant, and it's so unique, created by Olivia Jacobetti. So En Passant is all about cucumber, rice, like a rice accord, and like a watery feel into it. Love this one. This screams spring and summer, maybe a bit more spring, but and lilacs, lots of lilacs in here. This screams spring, but I also love to wear this during the summertime. I already wore this a couple times because I purchased this while I was in Lisbon. I purchased this one and I wore it a couple of times in Lisbon. I love the wearing experience during the summertime. En Passant is it. You really need to experience this perfume. Love it. Love it. The other fragrance, and this was not love at first sniff, it is Synthetic Jungle, which is now called Synthetic Nature, but I was able to find a Synthetic Jungle naming. And so this is very green, and it's so powerful. Not only in terms of scent, but also in terms of performance. So this is very green, very sappy, big albumin in here, and in the end, and minty. It has a bit of a minty feel for me, but not as much as in, for example, Geranium pour Monsieur, also from Frederic Malle. But this is extremely green, and I would even say borderline animalic / poopy even. So this is, I think this is not for everyone, but and definitely not love at first sniff, but I really learned to appreciate Synthetic Jungle and the magic of it. And I love the marketing name, the marketing behind synthetic. I mean, because synthetic, calling synthetic to a perfume, it's not an easy feat, because everyone wants naturals, but the fact is, almost all fragrances have synthetic materials in them, but well, that's another topic. But Synthetic Jungle is really one of the best green fragrances. Very complex, very intense, again, very sappy, mossy, green, a bit dirty type of perfume. But again, if you love green fragrances, definitely check this one out. So these two are Synthetic Jungle and En Passant. And the last two from Frederic Malle, and the last two fragrances from this video, these two were my favorite purchases from Frederic Malle. The first one was stolen, but I already repurchased it. It is the amazing Monsieur. I love patchouli and that fragrance. Since the first time I tried it, which was years ago, it was since then on my wish list, and just now I purchased it. And oh yes, like, it's an amazing patchouli, very medicinal, boozy, spicy, and again, not for everyone. A lot of people say that it's basically Portrait of a Lady without the rose, with a more amped up patchouli, basically like the male version of Portrait of a Lady, which for me, I mean, I can maybe see that, but not entirely, because again, all fragrances are unisex, and Portrait of a Lady is very masculine, though, although despite the name. And Monsieur, yes, it's even more masculine with the patchouli. It's very intense, very medicinal. Actually, I wore it one time before it was stolen, of course, and my fiance said, my fiance was not a fan. Actually, she said, "You smell like medicine." I don't like it. It's very strong and very medicine-like, and it makes sense. It made sense because again, the patchouli, it's very strong and it has this medicinal feel. But I love the booziness in it. I love the spices. I love the woodsy accords in there. Love Monsieur. I love Monsieur since day one. And the other fragrance, the last fragrance that I'm completely addicted. The Moon by Frederic Malle. I'm so happy. I'm super addicted to this fragrance, The Moon by Frederic Malle, created by Julien Rasquinet, and I love the raspberry in here. I love the oud, the sweetness, the rose. I love everything about this fragrance. The smokiness. Seriously, this currently it's my favorite from this collection. It was Promise, then the Night was, and I want the Night as well. Like the Night, I think will be one of my last purchases of the year. But yeah, the Moon, oh man, the Moon, playful, intense, very sensual with a mysterious feel. He's like that person, very well dressed, very goofy, but with a story behind. Love this. The Moon is masterpiece. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Tell me in the comments down below what fragrances have you added to your collection recently. See you in the next video. I'm back, guys. Ciao.